Hello Linux lovers, welcome back to my world. My name is Wimpy. So, hello to everyone in chat. I've been chatting to some of you people. Arubis Islander and Big Pod, welcome back to the stream. Hello George. And also hello Popey and Jamie. Hello everyone. Hello Jim, Simon. Welcome back everyone. Thank you all for joining me on my Sunday afternoon. So let's get some of this out of the way quite quickly. This is the first of a double header. I'm going to stream again later this evening, so look out for that in your schedules. This should be a relatively brief one. It's a little project that I've been working on that I wanted to share with you because it was something that came up through the whole Desktopify series. Lots of people using Argon cases and fan hats and wanting Ubuntu support for that. So that's what we're going to be looking at today, is Argon case fans and fan hat controllers with Ubuntu support. So let's say hello to chat, shall we? Oh goodness, how do I do that? Do I do it like that? It's been a while. Hello. Hello Jeffrey. Yes, so I tell you what, let's get straight into this. We've got plenty of people here for a Sunday afternoon. I thought I'd do one European time because quite often I do these late. The second one today is going to be a bit later. So hello Simon and Joshua, hello. Yes, if you're new here, if you're watching, if you've joined this stream for the first time, do say hello in chat. We're a friendly crowd. We like to say hello, get to know everyone that joins us. So, what do I need to show you all today? I think first of all, we'll start with an overhead view. So, I have here, this is a it's a Raspberry Pi 4 with 2 gigs of RAM in the Argon Poly Plus case with the Argon Fan HAT installed. There's no controller installed yet, so what you probably can't see, and I'm going to struggle to illustrate, is these LEDs. There's 4 LEDs here to indicate the fan speed, and the default fan speed is 50%, so I don't know if the mic's going to pick that up, but that's whirring away at 50%, cooling that down. And I have all of the Argon cases. So here we have the Argon Neo case, and here's the fan hat installed, obviously not running. And the fan hat also has this little power switch on it, which has some additional functions that will be hooking up through the controller as well. So that's got like force shutdown, reboot, and safe, soft shutdown, with proper exit. I really like this Neo case because this is a metal case. The case itself acts as a massive passive heat sink, and then you can plonk one of these fans on top. So if you really want to overclock your Raspberry Pi 4, then this is a great way to keep it cool. So that's a 4 gig model in here. And then this is the Argon 1 case, which I won't be opening up because it's all screwed shut, but you can see the GPIOs there. This is kind of cool. It's got a daughter board to present all of the I/O round the back, so there's no I/O around the sides and the front. It's all passed through on the back, and then the GPIOs are rotated, so they're all available there, color coded and signposted. But that's got a fan integrated into the case, and it uses the same fan controller that the fan hats use. So this little bit of software will work for all 3 of these devices. So as I say, the Raspberry Pi 4 really needs cooling. So that's what we'll take a look at. It looks like, hey Niall, thanks for joining the chat. Hey, oh, Theros Madness, the Ross Madness, hello. I'm glad this is a good time that works for Central US time and in Boston and North Carolina. Hello Stephen, thank you for joining the stream. Right, and hello Richard, thank you for joining. Thank you everyone for joining. I know this is a little earlier and kind of a niche subject, but let's get into it. So I'm just trying to think. I've got this hooked up to the capture, so I think we'll go straight into that view of things, he says, and notices that there is no signal. Let's wake it up. It's fine. It's fine. this is expected. There we go. So let's bring my second keyboard over and the second mouse for the Raspberry Pi. Right, that should all be on. Right then, let's just unlock. So I'm using Ubuntu Mate. For those of you that have been following along here, this is actually a test drive of the Ubuntu Mate 2004 Beta 2 images. And I've now fixed the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth issues, so I think I'll be pumping those out very soon. And then I've added a few things up here. So if we take a look, I've added a temperature reading in the panel up there. Oh gosh, it's so difficult. Up the top there. So this is currently, the sock is 36 degrees, being, you know, quite well cooled by a fan running at 50%. And then we can see here, this is going to be CPU load. We'll get to that later. And, sorry, CPU utilization, and this will be system load. And we can see that the SoC is currently running at 600 megahertz. So, I've set up a few bits and pieces here. So the first thing is I've got the system monitor running here. So we'll use that to watch what's going on with the CPU in a bit more detail later. We've also got P sensor running. If you're not familiar with P sensor, it's a great way to sort of visualize the sensors, you know, fan speed, CPU, GPU temperatures, a whole bunch of stuff. I've just got this plotting a graph for the temperature of the SoC, and this has been running, sat here running for an hour or so. So nice and cool because that fan's blasting it. Now if I was to put the lid on that Raspberry Pi, that temperature would soar to about 60 degrees because there's no like significant airflow in the case. But let's take a look at the project itself, and that is on a different screen. Gosh, so many screens. This one. Let's try there. Here we go. So what I've done is not all that clever, to be honest with you. It's quite straightforward. There was Argon, the manufacturer of these fan hats and cases, have already got a script which you can use to enable this fan controller. Trouble is, it doesn't work in 2004 because it makes some assumptions about Python 2. And it also makes some assumptions about using the Video Core SoC utilities, which we are just about to introduce for Ubuntu, but are not available widely yet. So I've refactored this so it's Ubuntu compatible and a bit more maintainable, and you can find the project here. And if we look at the cases here, so we've got this is the Argon one. I love this case. This is absolutely my favorite case for the Raspberry Pi 4. This is fabulous. Again, it's a full metal enclosure. This base is plastic, but everything that the Pi sits on is metal. It's a massive passive heatsink with an integrated fan, and also the button that I showed you on the fan hat, oh goodness, the button is here, and this turns the device on and has those hard reset options and reboot and all the rest of it. This is the Neo, slightly smaller. These all come at different cost points, but that's another full metal enclosure that you can then install the fan hat on top of. And then at the super cheap end of the line, this is the Poly Plus case that I'm using right now, and this is a plastic case. But I have managed to put a low profile heatsink on the SoC and then this fan hat on top. So I think with all three we can run these pretty hard. And then this is the fan hat itself. In the description for this video you'll find Amazon affiliate links for all of these things. They should direct you to these products in your regional Amazon store if you're interested in any of these. So with that, let's go and install this thing. It's a single shell script, this here, and then embedded inside it is here documents for a systemd unit, a couple of Python scripts, and that's kind of it really. So I think what we'll do is we'll go back to here, and we'll actually get this thing installed, which I should be able to do just here. So we'll use the right keyboard. So we'll just check this out. And Alan is, so Simon is, oh, hang on. Just catch up with chat. So, hello, Richard, again. Right then. I have no AC, so fans are a very big deal in the summer heat. Right, yes. Yeah, Dominic, I mean, the 8 gig Raspberry Pi in the Argon case is a pretty capable bit of kit, you know, because you've got the integrated fan and the passive heatsink. It's great. And then somebody was asking about micro HDMI. I would have liked the case with micro HDMI to full-size HDMI adapter. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so the Pi 4 has two micro HDMIs out, and I'm just using, if I just go to the overhead cam a second, I'm just using here, I've got an adapter cable to go to full HDMI, so from micro HDMI to full HDMI. Right then, so with that, let's carry on checking out the code. This won't take too long. Did I call it Argon 1-Ubuntu? I think I did. So that's it checked out. We'll just switch into that directory. All of these instructions are in the GitHub project as well if you're running this after the fact. And then we'll just run, oh, I'm slightly in the way. I'll just move chat to one side. There we go. We just run that with the install flag. Now, I don't know if you'll hear this, but you may see it. If I just go to the overhead camera a second, you can see here these blue lights. There's two LEDs lit up to tell me the fan is currently running at 50%. So we'll come back and look at those in just a moment. This is way more complicated than I imagined. So we'll do the install, put in my super secret password, which you all know is test, of course. This will install the GPIO Python modules, some IC squared utilities, and then enable the systemd unit and get it running. I immediately noticed it doesn't appear to have actually kicked in, which is odd. Nothing like a live demo is there. So I was going to say, let's look at the overhead camera to see that it's spinning slower, but in fact that hasn't happened. So let's just bring this up here. So why hasn't, oh yes it has, now kicked in. There we go. Okay, I'll put that back where it was. So if it just took a moment for it to catch up. So if I now go back to the overhead camera, you can see that these LEDs have gone out, and hopefully you can see that the fan has stopped spinning. And you're probably thinking, well, why is the fan stopped spinning? And the reason for that is that's how the default fan profile is configured. So I'll just explain how that stuff works. So if we come back here, if we cat etc argon1d.conf, what we can see here at the bottom is that it's configured. This is the actual configuration. So it's configured so at 55 degrees or more, it will spin the fan at 10% fan speed. At 60 degrees Celsius, it will use 55% fan speed. And over 65 degrees, it will use 100% fan speed. So as you can see, our CPU is currently at 43 degrees Celsius. If we look at the indicator up here, slowly rising, because obviously all that's cooling the Pi SoC right now is that slimline heatsink. There's no active cooling. So you can see that's gone up, you know, quite a bit from the 30 or 36 degrees that we had earlier. So if we wanted to change that fan curve, you just edit etc argon1.conf. You can change this fan profile. So let's change this to 40 degrees as 10%, and then sudo system ctl argon1d restart, and I've spelt that wrong. Oh, it's restart Argon 1D, isn't it? Of course. Argon 1D. So that's restarted. Now if I go to the overhead cam, you can now see, maybe you can't make it out, but there's only one LED lit up now to represent the, 25%. It's not at 25, it's at 10, but it's, one LED is active. So that's how we configure the fan profiles. And what we can also do is demonstrate, in fact, let's just take a quick catch up in chat there. So there's some discussion about micro HDMI. Hello Ferran, hello, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm kind of conflicted about the micro HDMI and the Raspberry Pi 4. It's way more convenient to have HDMI, regular HDMI single in the other earlier models because they're plentiful. So I'm not a big fan. And Pork Chop Sandwich, welcome, and glad you're enjoying this. So, yeah, you can now see that our CPU temperatures have dropped down from, they were at like 44, 45, and with 10% applied, the fan has, the temperature of the SoC has dropped down a little bit. And in a minute or so, after that's comfortably under 40, we should see the fan cut out. Anyway, and you can see here P sensor plotting that temperature on the SoC as we've been adjusting the fan curve. Right. There was one other thing I was going to show you. Yes. Okay. So the other thing we can do is I mentioned the power switch. So if we just do an overhead view, there's this little power switch here. It has a couple of functions. I can show you what those are. So in the documentation for this, somebody's raised an issue. Brilliant. You're dead right. There isn't a test for no argument. Right then. So if we look down here, there's a couple of charts. So if you've got the Argon 1, these are the functions that the power button on the back has, and they're quite similar, except that with the fan hat you can't turn the device on with the power button, but from an off state. But what you can do is you can see here we've got this, if the device is on and we double tap, we can reboot the device. So I'm going to lean forward. I won't switch the camera view, I'll leave it here. I'm just going to double tap the power button, and this should... Why is that not picking it up? Oh man, this worked earlier. Oh well. Well, that's disappointment, isn't it? Well, maybe I can do the soft shutdown. Oh, it's taking a long time to actually respond. This is frustrating because this all worked. So clearly, bugs I need to fix. That's a terrible demonstration, isn't it? In any case, oh, actually, I was looking at the wrong screen. I have just rebooted. I should have been on this. Let's do that. Let's do that again. It did in fact work. If I look at the actual machine I'm about to reboot rather than my own computer, that would be a much better demonstration of knowing that this works. So I'm just logging back into the desktop. Right, so now I'm going to double tap the power button. Are you ready? There we go. And now we'll see this thing reboot. So that was it shutting down. The nose signal is my capture device, and there we go. Now it's rebooting. So that was the double tap to reboot, and that's a safe reboot. It actually does a proper system, you know, shutdown and restart. And similarly, you can do a forced shutdown, and you know, that all works as well. So that's good. I'm glad that actually worked. So that's the basic demonstration of the Fan HAT controller. So if you have one of these cases, or you want one of these cases, and you want to run Ubuntu or Ubuntu Mate, then you can now add support for your Argon fans. That was kind of it. Although what we could do is I could show you a little something. So whilst I was testing this, I wanted to see if the fans would respond to the different profiles that I'd created. So if we just open up a terminal window and make that a little bit bigger font so everyone can see. So we'll edit the fan speed here, Argon 1, and we'll set this to run at, let's set it at 45 degrees to run at 50% fan speed. There we go, and we'll save that. We'll restart the Argon 1D. I've kept the names the same as the original script. So Farron's asking if this is a similar reboot method to Alt sysrec sub. No, it actually calls a system reboot. So it isn't a hardware invoked reboot. It is a proper shut the system down, restart the system. So I've just changed the fan curve. So what we'll do is we'll stress the CPU to try and get it above 45 degrees. At the moment, if I just do the overhead camera, you can see here the LEDs are out again and the fan's not moving because of the way we've configured the fan profile. So let's go back to this one. We'll install stress ng. So if you want to make your system work, this is a great utility for doing that. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the CPU work extra time. So I think that is what I need. There we go. So if we look at this up here, you can see immediately all of the CPU cores have become active. You can also see the CPU temperature has jumped up to 55, 56 degrees. And if I just switch back to the overhead cam, you can now see the fan is spinning and it's operating at 50%, just as we'd determined in our script. So that's now running, and you can see the load increasing. So the way this indicator works is each bar, that's load 1, this is load 2. As it crests 3, a new marker will come in. Obviously with 4 CPU cores, the not maximum load, but the sort of top end of what the system is designed to cater for is going to be 4. So that's going to creep up, and you can also see the temperature very slowly is starting to come down a bit, because it did peak at 55 there, and we should see this come down. And if it doesn't come down enough, then we could change the fan profile to ramp up to 75% or 100%. There we go. That is how you install the fan controller for the Argon devices, and how you configure it, and also how you stress out a Raspberry Pi to test it. Ferren says, seemed pretty instant for a software reboot. Yeah, but there's not a lot going on in this install of Ubuntu Mate, so it doesn't take long to shut down and restart. And some random YouTuber says, hello, you've got me running Gitkraken, Fish Shell and VS Code. You're welcome. I imagine your life is immeasurably better as a result of that, so welcome. Welcome to the future. I can't pronounce that But hello, Esme. Hello, Esme. Welcome to the stream. Correct. Simon asks, is this Raspberry Pi overclocked? No, as you can see, we're stressing the CPU, and that's currently capped at 1.5 gigahertz. So this is a not overclocked Raspberry Pi. But of course, having this fan hat, and particularly in the Neo, Argon Neo and Argon 1 cases with the additional passive cooling, great cases to run an overclocked Raspberry Pi 4. They can really pump out the heat. Even passively cooled, they can keep a sort of a stressed Raspberry Pi at about 50 degrees. Add the fan on top and it can keep it quite coasty, which, quite comfortable, which prevents it from thermal throttling. Right, well, I tell you what, thank you all for joining. I am shocked and stunned to see that over 60 people joined this stream at various points today. If you're watching this and you got value from it, then please consider subbing to the channel. If you liked it, then give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't like it, give it 2 thumbs down. And hopefully I will see you all a little bit later when I'm doing another live stream, when we are going to make a brand new Ubuntu distro. How exciting. So if you want to learn how we can put together a new Ubuntu remix, then that's what I'll be doing later. So thanks for joining, everyone, and if you're still around later on, I will look forward to seeing you then. So bye for now.